So we have discussed so far about number system, and in this number system we have covered the topics like we have discussed about the basic concept and conversions, important thing, and other thing is equation solving, equations. So now we are going to enter into one more important topic, that is first topic. We are done with this, so we are going into next chapter, that is Boolean algebra. Boolean algebra, where we will mostly focus on logic gates. Okay, and let's see if we can figure out K-maps also today, but it's not point. Let's start with Boolean algebra. Yeah, so far 8 people joined. Okay, that's it. I'm going to start now. Okay, yeah, good to go. Now in Boolean algebra, uh, the main things are you have to learn about logic gates, and then in these logic gates the most important thing is OR gate, AND gate, and inverter. These three are of basic because with these three you can design any type of gate. If you look from AND and inverter, you can design NAND gate, which is called as basic gate. And similarly from OR and inverter you can design NOR gate, which is also a basic gate. So that's why these three are solely enough to design any sort of circuit. These three are like basic gates. That's why we call these three gates as basic gates. So that is one reason behind calling these as basic gates. Now, after this, we have seen already about what is meant by dual and self-dual functions. So dual is nothing but if you replace OR with and 0 with 1, then such type of functions are called as dual functions. For example, if you look here, a plus 0 is present, right? If you replace this OR with AND, or you can say plus with dot and 0 with 1, so these two are called as duals. And one more thing is, if your function is true, then dual of that function is also true. This is an important thing one should focus. That means if you are writing a function f of xyz, say, if this is having some functional value, or it is true for some cases, like for example, it is, let's say it is having a min terms of 0, 3, 4, let's say, then the dual of this function is also true. It also satisfies the following min terms. So that is the reason behind this note point, or that is the intention of this note point. Now I'm going to explain you what is meant by self-dual function. Here it is given that a bar is called as self-dual function, but I'm going to give you one more example which help you a lot to understand about self-dual functions. So let's check here. So self-dual functions. The definition of this self-dual function is, if your function is for example, if xyz is a certain function, and if the dual of the function is also same, then such functions are called as self-dual functions. Self-dual functions. Yeah. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫంక్షన్ వాల్యూ ఏమైతే ఉందో అలాగే దాని యొక్క డ్యూయల్ కూడా సేమ్ అయితే such functions will be called as self-dual functions. Now I am going to give you an example. Let the function be f of x comma y comma z equal to xy plus yz plus zx. ఇప్పుడు దీని డ్యూయల్ ఏమవుద్దిరా, ఎఫ్ డ్యూయల్ ఆఫ్ xyz ఏమవుద్ది, ఎండ్ ప్లేస్లో ఆర్ పెట్టండి, ఆర్ ప్లేస్లో ఎండ్ పెట్టండి. సో ఏమవుద్ది, ఎక్స్ ప్లస్ వై ఇంటూ వై ప్లస్ జెడ్ ఇంటూ జెడ్ ప్లస్ ఎక్స్. ఇంతేగా, ఇదే కదా దాని డ్యూయల్. ఇది ఫంక్షన్, ఇది దాని యొక్క డ్యూయల్. నౌ వాట్ ఐమ్ గోయింగ్ టు డూ ఇస్, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు రైట్ దీస్ ఫంక్షన్స్. let me say the values of xyz be 0 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0. ఇది xyz values అనుకుంటే, now tell me the functional value of f of xyz and dual of xyz. Now you try to fill this truth table. And let's check what the values will be. The thickness is so much, it's not comfortable for me to write. Let me change this to okay. Now if you see this is too small. Okay, here f of xyz is given by xy plus yz plus zx, so this will be 0. Here xy plus yz plus zx, so at least 2 ones should be present, to get 1 here. So this is the value of f of x comma y comma z, right? Sorry, I can't draw more straight than that. Okay, then what is the value of dual? X plus y, or at here x plus y, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0, so this will be 0. And similarly 0 plus 0 and 0 plus 1 1 and 1 plus 0 1, so 0 and 1 and 1, which is obviously 0. Here 0 plus 1 1 and 1 and 0, again 0. Here 0 plus 1 is 1 and 1 plus 1 is 1 and 1 plus 0 is 1, so you get 1. So here similarly 1 0 1, again 0. Here 1 1 1, you will get 1 here. 1 1 1, you will get 1 here. Now you check the functional values of these two. Now you just check the functional values of these two. 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. So you can say here f of x comma y comma z is equal to fd of x comma y comma z. So these type of functions, which is equal to xy plus yz plus zx, so these type of functions are called as self-dual functions. Did you got my point? So these type of functions are called as self-dual functions. Did you got what is meant by self-dual functions? You please comment if you understood about self-dual functions. You comment yes or no, or if you want I can repeat those that point again. Are you clear with self-dual functions? Yes. Okay, 3 of you replied. Okay, enough. At least you 3 are following, right? Okay, that is about self-dual functions. Next, there are some rules like commutative property, associative property, distributive property, which by looking at them itself you can by looking at those things itself you can understand about this commutative property, associative property and distributive property. So the main motive of first few minutes of this session, meeki first few minutes lo main meeku explain cheyalanunadi what is meant by self dual function, because no one will explain with this type of example showing about self dual function. So I tried to explain about self dual functions and I explained you that. Now it's your part to look at these formulas carefully. Commutative property ante, again you just write the property and try to remember its dual, because it's very comfortable to derive these formulas using duals of their functions. And also there was a point called if a function is true and its dual also will hold same for that function. So it's not a problem if you prove either for these things or for these things, so it's not a problem. Now De Morgan's law is very, very important, so you please focus on this law. This De Morgan's law is very, very important. A plus b whole bar equal to a bar dot b bar, or a dot b bar equal to a bar plus b bar. This De Morgan's law is very, very important. Why I am repeating so much means we will directly use this formula to prove different theorems also. And one more thing, I already explained about consensus law. A shortcut to represent consensus law is, yeah, if you have complement as well as uncomplement terms, complement plus uncomplement term, then the term which consisting these two, ఈ రెండు ఉన్నదే మీకు మిగిలిద్ది. లైక్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది చూడండి, ఏబి ప్లస్ ఏ బార్ సి ప్లస్ బీసీ, ఏబి ప్లస్ ఏ బార్ సి ప్లస్ బీసీ ఇట్లా ఉంటే ఇక్కడ ఏ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ ఏ బార్ ఉంది. సో యూ put these two terms as answer and you neglect this. There was also a proof which I explained yesterday, but let me be short and explain that again. BC into 1 or BC ended with 1, this won't change the operation, right, or the functional value. So ఇప్పుడు 1 నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నానంటే BC into 1 ని a plus a bar అని రాస్తున్నాను. If a is 1 then a bar is 0, if a is 0 then a bar is 1. Total if you add these two you will get 1. So these two, so this is equal to 1, right? Now what I'm going to do is I can write this as AB plus a bar c plus abc plus a bar bc. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండు టర్మ్స్ నుంచి మీరు ఏబి కామన్ తీయచ్చు, ఏబి ఇంటూ 1 ప్లస్ సి. అట్లానే ఈ రెండిట్ల నుంచి ఏ బార్ సి కామన్ తీయచ్చు, 1 ప్లస్ బి. సో 1 ప్లస్ ఆర్ విత్ 1 ఎనీథింగ్ దట్ డజంట్ మ్యాటర్, ద రిజల్ట్ విల్ బి 1. ఆర్ విత్ సి, ఆర్ విత్ 1, the other thing can be anything, it doesn't matter, answer will be 1. So you will finally end up with AB plus A bar C. So this is called as consensus law, which is very, very important and we often come across that thing. So this is the proof that we have seen so far. Now here is the point where I stopped yesterday. So let me be specific from this point again in today's session. Okay. So far if you missed, it's not a problem because I already explained those things in the yesterday's part. So it's like a brief recap today. Now let's going to start from this new point. Okay. Normal ga variables ki literals ki తేడా ఏంటంటే a b c వేరియబుల్స్ అంటే దాని మీనింగ్ ఏ బార్ అన్నా బి బార్ అన్నా సి బార్ అన్నా ఇంకా వేరియబుల్సే, సేమ్ మారదు. బట్ వెరాజ్ కమింగ్ టు లెటరల్స్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏ అనేది ఒక సెపరేట్ లెటరల్, ఏ బార్ అనేది ఒక సెపరేట్ లెటరల్గా ట్రీట్ చేస్తాం. సో ఇది ఎందుకు నేను చెప్తున్నానంటే, నేను డెఫినేషన్స్లో లెటరల్స్ అన్న పదం వాడినప్పుడు, లెటరల్ అన్న పదం వాడినప్పుడు మీరు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వకూడదు. ఎక్కడ లెటరల్ వాడుతున్నాను, ఎక్కడ వేరియబుల్ వాడుతున్నాను, వాడినప్పుడు నా ఇంటెన్షన్ ఏంటి. ఇప్పుడు వేరియబుల్స్ అని వాడినప్పుడు వాటి యొక్క కాంప్లిమెంట్స్ గురించి నేను మీకు రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తున్నానా లేదా, లెటరల్స్ అని వాడినప్పుడు ఎలా వాడుతున్నాను. సో దోస్ థింగ్స్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఫోకస్. అందుకే ఈ పాయింట్ అనేది ఇక్కడ చెప్పడం జరిగింది. నౌ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ ఈజ్, ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక ఫంక్షన్ ఇచ్చాను ఏ ప్లస్ బి బార్ సి అని, ఏ ప్లస్ బి బార్ సి అని, a plus b bar c. Now I asked you to find the complement of this function. There are two methods to find this complement of this function. Are two methods cheppadame na intention. What is the first method? It is directly doing like this and using the formulas, the De Morgan law vadukodame. Second thing is again finding the same but in a different manner. So now let's you are going to see that in detail. First a plus b bar c annaru, కాంప్లిమెంట్ కట్టాలి, ఎఫ్ కాంప్లిమెంట్. సో ఇది ఎలా కడతారంటే, ఫ్రమ్ డి మోర్గన్లో ఏం చెప్తుంది మీకు, ఏ ప్లస్ బి బార్ ఉంటే ఏమని చెప్పాను నీకు, ఏ బార్ అండ్ బి బార్ అని చెప్పాను. సో దీన్ని ఏ అనుకో, దీన్ని మొత్తాన్ని బి అనుకో. దీన్ని ఎట్లా రాయొచ్చు, ఇప్పుడు ఏ బార్ అండ్ బి బార్ సి అని రాయొచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ ఇప్పుడు దీని డ్యూయల్ ఫంక్షన్ ఏ డాట్ బి బార్ అంటే ఏం రాయొచ్చురా, ఏ బార్ ప్లస్ బి బార్ అని రాయొచ్చు. సో ఇక్కడ చేసుకో, ఇది ఏ అనుకో, ఇది బి అనుకో. సో ఏ బార్ డాట్ b bar whole bar plus c bar. So ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుద్దిరా, a bar and b plus c bar hyphen. So you can write directly complement like this, or there is one more method to find the complement. This is first method, and there is also one more method to find the complement. అది డెఫినేషన్ చదవండి. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, write the dual of the given function. Next complement each literal. First thing ఏంటా, దీంట్లో సబ్ స్టెప్స్. ఫస్ట్ రైట్ డ్యూయల్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫంక్షన్, నెక్స్ట్ కాంప్లిమెంట్ ఈచ్ లిటరల్, కాంప్లిమెంట్ ఈచ్ లిటరల్. సో అందుకు మీకు లిటరల్స్కి వేరియబుల్స్కి తేడా చెప్పా. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఎలా యూజ్ అవుద్దో చూద్దాం. ద స్టేట్మెంట్, నేను చెప్పిన స్టేట్మెంట్ ఎట్లా యూజ్ అవుద్దో చూద్దాం. సో ఫస్ట్ దీనికి డ్యూయల్ అంటే ఏమవుద్దిరా, ఎండ్ ఉన్న దగ్గర ఆర్ పెట్టు, ఆర్ ఉన్న దగ్గర ఎండ్ పెట్టు, 1 ఉన్న దగ్గర 0 పెట్టు, 0 ఉన్న దగ్గర 1 పెట్టు. 1s 0s అందులో ఏం లేవు. సో ఏ డాట్ బి బార్ ప్లస్ సి. ప్రయారిటీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ రా, ఫస్ట్ ఇది సాల్వ్ చేయాలి. ఎండ్ ఆపరేషన్, పారెంథసిస్ లేవు కాబట్టి ఫస్ట్ ఎండ్ ఆపరేషన్, నెక్స్ట్ ఈ ఆర్ ఆపరేషన్. సో ఇది వచ్చింది మీకు ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్. ఇది డ్యూయల్ రాసేసావు. నెక్స్ట్ కాంప్లిమెంట్ ఈచ్ లిటరల్. ఇక్కడ నేను కాంప్లిమెంట్ ఈచ్ వేరియబుల్ అన్నప్పుడు బి ఉన్నా బి బార్ ఉన్నా అక్కడ మీకు తేడా తెలియదు. కానీ లిటరల్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏ ఉంటే ఏ బార్ అయిపోద్ది, ఏ బార్ ఉంటే ఏ అవుద్ది, బి ఉంటే బి బార్ అవుద్ది, బి బార్ ఉంటే బి అవుద్ది, సి ఉంటే సి బార్ అవుద్ది, సి బార్ ఉంటే సి అవుద్ది. నౌ ఇట్స్ యువర్ టర్న్ టు రైట్. ఏ బదులు ఏ బార్ రాయ్, బి బార్ బదులు బి రాయ్, సి బదులు సి బార్ రాయ్. Again you will get the same result like you have done here. You can check here. So these are the two different methods to find the complement. One is directly by going with formula. Other is first you find the dual of the function and you then complement each and every literal present in that dual, so that you will end up with finding complement of a number. So those are the two methods with the, so that you can find complement of anything. Now the question is, a question for you, a plus a dot b bar plus c bar dot d. Yeah, this is first question in today's session. You try to find if this is f, then find f bar. Come on, I want your answer in the comment section. Comment your answer. You guys are following, right? A bar plus BC plus D bar. Subbu gave the answer A bar plus BC plus D bar. Any more answers? No. Subbu, answer. Your answer was wrong. What is this 0 0, man? You got my question right. Find if f is given as a dot b bar plus c bar dot d, then find complement of that function f bar. A bar plus b and c plus d bar. A bar plus b and c plus d bar. So more answers are similar now. So I think that's the answer. I'm going to explain that anyway. Okay, it's very simple. First, you can follow second approach or you can directly do. I will do both the methods. First method, a dot b bar plus c bar dot d. You should be fast by doing these type of things, because I already told you, if you are quick with Boolean algebra, then you can solve digital circuits very, very easy. So first f bar. Then I can write this as a bar dot b whole bar and c bar dot d whole bar. If you are unable to follow any step, please stop me there so that I can explain you. Now a bar plus b bar whole bar and c bar whole bar plus d bar. You will get a bar plus b and c plus d bar. So this is one way. Now let's solve with another approach. Let me find dual. The dual of this function is a plus b bar and c bar plus d. Now you complement each literal. So complement of the function is a bar plus b and c plus d bar. I think now you got why the second method is also taught to you. So this is how you can This is how quick you can solve. Step 1, step 2, that's all. But if you are dealing with first approach, then you should write all these following steps. So that is the reason why each and everything that is taught in the class is very, very helpful somehow or other way. So that is the discussion here. Now we are going to enter into SOP and POS format. So before entering into that, let me ask you a question or poll a question for you. And I want every one of you should answer this question. The question is, the SOP of a function, is the SOP of a function equal to POS of a function? Question 2. SOP of a function equal or not equal to POS of a function? Now this is your second question. Equal, if it's equal, then you type as E. If not equal, then you type as NE. Come on, quick. I want your answers. Harshita told that not equal. Equal means E, not equal means NE. Subbu, N means what? I have to think, man. Yeah, NE. Okay, not equal. Okay, Pujita, not equal. Okay, I think Sidhu smart. He is really smart. He told equal. And also Kaja Mohiddin also told that it is equal. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, no problem. So within few minutes, I am going to explain you or blast your mind. The thing is, what we learn in our academics is, or in our curriculum, what is the myth that we have is, those two are not equal. You please wait for 1 minute. I think OneNote is hanged. Yeah, okay. We are back to rock. Color and thickness. I will go with black and I will choose this thickness. Okay. Now I'm going to explain an interesting thing about this, that is, if SOP of a function equal to POS of it or not. So for doing that, let me write a small function value. See, order is very important. F of A comma B comma C might or might not be equal to F of B comma A comma C might or might not be equal to F of C comma A comma B. So the order how you are writing these literals or variables is very, very important. So let me write this as F of A comma B comma C. So this is some function I don't know. Let me frame a truth table here. A, B, C, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. So these are the possibilities, right? So let me randomly give some functional value. Zeros or ones, I don't know. Let me give it as 1, 0, 1, double 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. Now we 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if I write this function, this will be equal to sum of min terms, that is 0, 2, 5, 7. It has 0, 2, 5, 7, right? So these are the min terms. Now what will be the value of this functional value? This will be a standard canonical representation or sum of product representation, and it will be equal to A bar, B bar, C bar plus A bar, B, C bar plus, so this is corresponding to 0, this is corresponding to 2, and corresponding to 5 it will be A, B bar, C, this is corresponding to 5 plus A, B, C. What you have to write here is, if it is 0, then write complemented form of that literal, and if it is of that variable, and if it is 1, then you write uncomplemented form. So this is what we will do in SOP format, right? Now you got the function. This is called as SOP representation or canonical SOP representation or standard SOP representation. Now, what I'm going to do is, This is also called as minterm 0 plus minterm 2 plus minterm 5 plus this is corresponding to 7, right? Minterm 7. So this is my functional value, which is nothing but sigma m of 0 to 5 7. So this is the standard representation. This is an SOP form. Now what I'm going to do is, see, now if I ask you to write POS form, what you will do, you will start with zeros, right? You will write all these zeros, and what you will do, if it is 0, then you will write it as uncomplemented form, and if it is 1, you will write as complemented form. That is the standard way of writing POS. But for a change, let us think like this. If I told you to write for F complement in SOP format itself, see, F complement in the sense how these are going to modify. If it is F complement, then it will be 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 0, right? So how you can write F complement in SOP format? It is very simple, right? Now the minterms will be sigma m of 1, left out things, man, 1 3 4 6. Now you can write SOP form again. For 1 it will be A bar B bar C plus corresponding to 3 it will be 0 1 1, right? So it will be A bar B C plus A B bar C bar, because 1 0 0 for 4, right? For 6 it will be A B C bar 1 1 0. Now this is SOP form. Now what I'm going to do is, to get the function f of A comma B comma C, I'm doing F complement whole complement. This will be equal to F, right? So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to find the complement of this function. I'm going to find the complement of this function. You guys are following, right? Okay. Let me assume that you guys are following. Now, by using Boolean rows, how you can write this? A bar B bar C whole bar dot A bar B C whole bar dot A B bar C bar dot A B C bar dot. So this is the way how you will write this, right? Now again, split this complement. A bar whole bar A and will be converted to OR B bar whole bar B plus C bar. See, it is gradually converting into POS form. If you able to observe, then here clearly it is gradually converting into POS form. If you look here, and A bar plus B plus C and A bar plus B bar plus C. See, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. Now if you look here, this expression. Now, if you are trying to write directly max terms from here, how you will write? A plus B plus C bar, right? Here for this again, A plus B bar plus C bar, right? And for this again, A bar plus B plus C, right? And for this, A bar plus B bar plus C. Now if you look, all those terms are present here. A plus B plus C bar, A plus B bar plus C bar, A bar plus B plus C, A bar plus B bar plus C. So now tell me, is SOP and POS both are same or different for a function? Now you tell me. Guys, comment your answer. Now you tell me, is SOP and POS same or different? Tell me your answer. Yes or no? Same, equal or not equal? Again same, E or NE. Guys, you got my point, right? No replies from you. What should I think? Yes, సేమ్. కానీ మనం పిఓఎస్ని డ్యూయల్ చేస్తే ఎస్ఓపి రావట్లేదుగా. సుబ్బరాజు ఆస్క్డ్ మీ క్వశ్చన్. లెట్ మీ గెట్ బ్యాక్ టు యువర్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫస్ట్. బట్ లెట్ మీ సీ ఇఫ్ అదర్స్ గాట్ దిస్ పాయింట్ ఆర్ నాట్. సేమ్, ఈక్వల్, ఆర్ఈ. తరుణ్, వాట్ ఈస్ ఆర్ఈ మ్యాన్? సేమ్ ఈక్వల్. ఓకే. సి, సుబ్బరాజు ఆస్క్డ్ మీ క్వశ్చన్. మనం పిఓఎస్ని డ్యూయల్ చేస్తే ఎస్ఓపి రావట్లేదు కదా. పిఓఎస్ని డ్యూయల్ చేస్తే ఎస్ఓపి రావట్లేదు కదా. See, Subbu, I already told you one thing. If a function is true, then its dual is also true, but these two functional values need not to be same. If these functional values are also same, then those functions are called as self-dual functions. కానీ నేను ఇవి సెల్ఫ్ డ్యూయల్ అని డ్యూయల్ అని ఏమైనా కామెంట్ చేశానా? SOP ఈక్వల్ టు POS అని ప్రూవ్ చేస్తాను అన్నాను, అండ్ ఐ ప్రూవ్డ్ దట్. I have taken the same thing and I proved that SOP and POS are same. So from this derivation, what my point is, sigma m of 0 to 5 7, so those are the min terms, right, equal to max terms of 1 3 4 6. And the thing is, SOP equal to POS for a particular function. SOP of a function equal to POS of function. So this is my point. కానీ డ్యూయల్ చేస్తే ఈక్వల్ అవుట్ ద సెల్ఫ్ డ్యూయల్ ఫంక్షన్ ఆర్ డ్యూయల్ ఫంక్షన్ అని నేను కామెంట్ చేయలేదు. సో దాన్ని డ్యూయల్ చేస్తే మీకు వచ్చే ఫంక్షన్ వాల్యూ సేమ్ అవ్వచ్చు, డిఫరెంట్ అవ్వచ్చు, దట్ డజంట్ మ్యాటర్. బట్ ద థింగ్ ఈజ్ SOP of a function is equal to POS of the same function. That is the point I want you to know. So is your doubt got covered in this topic or not? Okay, got it. Okay, thank you. So that is the important topic. Now respect of this, I think I have taken the same example or different, I don't know, but let me move to the next thing. Okay, now we are moving into next spiciest topic, that is about logic gates. So you all familiar with this topic of logic gates, right? So let me go fast without much briefing in this, but it will be quite interesting. Yeah, the first and foremost gate is about OR gate. In OR gate, the functional value, the electrical equivalent, if you look at the electrical equivalent, it will be much more comfortable for you. 0 0 in the sense both the switches are in off case. Now this circuit is open, right? No current can flow through this path or either through this path, so the switch will be open, so you will get 0 at the output, so bulb will not glow. Similarly, if either of this path or both the paths are closed, then the bulb will glow. So either for 0 1 or 1 0 or 1 1, the output will be 1. So this is the functionality of OR gate. Now again, you can check same for 3 input OR gate. So the this will modify like this. You will have one more switch here called as C. So again, you can modify those things. Okay, same. If one path is there, then it's enough that bulb will glow. So that is the basic thing of this. Now what you have to know is, you have to know about enable input and disable input of an OR gate. If you look at OR gate, let me take my favorite black. Yeah, if you take OR gate, if one input to an OR gate is 0, other input let it be X. And similarly, if you take OR gate, if one input to an OR gate is 1 and other input be X. See, don't think these are useless. These are very, very useful. You'll get to know the importance of these topics in next few minutes. See, if you all know that 0 plus X is X, 1 plus X is 1. So no need to tell. If one input to OR gate is 1, then irrespective of this, it can be either 0 or it can be either 1. Irrespective of this input, this dominates and you will get output as 1. So if one input to OR gate is 1, it is indirectly disabling the other input or disabling the gate. It is the gate functionality is not at all depending on this other input. Hence we call 1 as disable input of an OR gate. Disable input of OR gate. Now if you look here, if one input is 0, then the output of the OR gate depending on the value of X. If X is 0, then output is 0. If X is 1, then output is 1. So if one input to OR gate is 0, it is enabling, the gate is enabling the other input to access the gate. Hence 0 is called as enable input of OR gate. So for one gate, if I go slow, then I can jump, I can skip other gates, or I can go fast in other gates also. So you just comment if you got the difference between enable and disable input of a gate. Yes, Y. If it is yes, you type Y. Okay, so you understood what is enable and disable, right? Now I am going for next gate, that is AND gate. This is also similar. The connection, the electrical connection will be, those two switches will be in series with each other. Now if zero means indicates switch is open and 1 indicates switch was closed. Now 0 indicates that the switch is open, so there is no path for current to flow. That's why the output will not glow. Now if you look here, if both the switches are closed, because it is a series connection, if both the switches are closed, then only there will be a current flow in the circuit and the bulb will glow. So the output will be 1 only if both are 1. So this is the operation of AND gate. Now if you look at enable and disable input of AND gate, it was very obvious and clear. Now you can do directly. If one input is 0, if one input is 1, so if one input is 0, irrespective of other input, the output will be always 0. So if one input is 0, it is not allowing other input to access the gate. So it is called as disable input. Disable input. If one input is 1, it is allowing other input to access the gate. So depending on the value of x, if it is 0, then output is 0. If it is 1, then output is 1. So depending on other input, the output of gate gets accessed. So it is called as enable input. So for OR gate, someone unmuted, it seems they have doubt. Yeah, guys, tell me, or by mistake. Someone unmuted. Okay, let me continue. Yeah, now the thing is, so that's it. If it is AND gate, then 0 is called as disable input and 1 is called as enable input. Now similarly, let us look at other gates also quickly. Inverter indicates that the switch was in parallel connection. Now if this switch is closed, then it represents a short circuit, so the entire current will flow through this short circuit, so bulb will not glow. So if input is 1, then output will be 0. If switch is open, the current will flow through the bulb, so output will glow, or the bulb will glow. So if 0, then output will be 1. If input is 1, then output will be 0. So these are all things you know, and this is called as buffer. If two inverters are placed in series or cascade connection, it is called as a buffer circuit or buffer gate. No enable or disable gate input required, but in practice there are 3 input gates we study, right? There will be an enable input for inverter also. Depending on this enable input, whether the input of the gate will be accessed or not, depending on this enable input or high impedance state, all these things we will discuss in later lectures. But for time being, you just think there is no enable or disable input for inverter. Now here you can see here. This is now the electrical model is very simple. All you have to learn is, for inverter, the connection will be parallel with the bulb. It will be parallel. For AND gate, it will be series. For OR gate, it will be parallel, like this. Now NAND gate, in the sense negation of AND gate, right? Now this entire AND circuit will come like this. So if this is the bulb, this entire negation circuit will come like this, S1 and S2. The analysis will be same. Now if it is NOR gate, negation of OR, right? So this entire circuit, if this is bulb, then the entire circuit will come like this, S1, S2. As simple as that. Very simple to remember. Circuits in detail, how the functionality actually happening. Now for NAND gates and NOR gates, you can check the enable input and disable input also. Why I'm getting these notifications? Okay. Now let me discuss about enable and disable inputs of this NAND gate and NOR gate. NAND gate and NOR gate. NOR gate. If one input is 0, if one input is 1, if one input is 0, if one input is 1. Now we clearly see here, 1 plus anything is 1, AND gate operation, and followed by inverter, right? So 1 plus x is 1, 1 inversion of 1 is 0. So if one input to NAND gate is 1, then irrespective of other input, the output will be always 0. That means if one input is 1, then it is not giving access to the other input. So 1 is called as disable input of NAND gate. Then obviously you check for 0. 0 plus x is x, x bar will be obtained as output. See, if you give 0, then output will be 1. If it is 1, then output will be 0. It doesn't matter whether it is original form or complemented form, but the only thing is the output is depending on the other input or other input giving access to the output. So that's why 0 is called as enable input for NAND gate. Similarly, for NOR gate, if you look, if it is 1, 1 plus anything is 1, 1 bar will be 0. Sorry, I think I explained this NAND gate wrong. I will get back to this NAND gate. You just listen NOR gate first. 1 plus anything is 1 and that complement will be 0. So irrespective of other input, if one input is 1, then output is always 0. Hence, 1 is called as disable input for NOR gate. And similarly, 0 plus x is x and the output will be complement of that. So irrespective of if one input is 0, then output is getting accessed with the other input. Hence 0 is called as enable input for NOR gate. Now let's get back to this NAND gate. 1 into x is x. Complement of that will be x bar. So if one input is 1, then the output is getting accessed with the other input. Hence 1 is called as not disable, enable input for NAND gate. Sorry for that mistake. I was a little bit confused with the operation, but now I corrected that. You can check this. No one pointed my mistake. What I should think, whether you guys are active or not. Okay. Now, obviously 0 plus 0 and x is 0 and the complement of that will be 1. So the output will be 1 if one input is 0 irrespective of other input. That indicates that if one input is 0, then irrespective of other input, you are not giving access to other input, it is always 1. Hence this is called as disable input, not enable, disable input. Yeah. By the end of this session, I will blast you with an example of a gate called as a different universal gate. So far you all guys have a myth. That universal gate mane NAND and NOR gates only. NAND and NOR gates. But now I am going to introduce a new type of gate which will blow your mind, which also satisfies the condition of this universal gate. So let's go in. We are going to see that in a little within less time only. Okay. So there are some few note points here. It is called as universal gate. It is possible to implement any logic function using only the NAND gates. This is the definition. If it is possible to implement any logic function using only that particular gate, then the gate is called as universal gate. So we can design OR and inversion using which are I already told you these are the three basic gates, right? With these three gates you can design any circuit. Now if you can design these three basic gates using a single gate, that is either NAND or NOR, that's you can design these three using a particular gate, that is NAND gate or NOR gate. Hence those two gates are called as universal gates. So now let's see how we can design those things. If you look here, if we are at present checking for NOR gate, so if A bar is given, if A is given as input, A plus A is A and the complement of that will be A bar. So inverter is obtained. So there is also other possibility. If one input is 0, then 0 plus A is A and the complement of that will be A bar. So in this way you can design NOT gate. Now let's check for NOR OR gate. A and B are two inputs given to an OR gate. So the result will be A plus B whole bar because NOR gate, right? Now again, if the same is fetched to an inverter, the complement of this A plus B whole bar, again bar means you will get A plus B. So you are fulfilled with the operation of OR here. Now if you check here, you can give A to this NOR gate and you will get A bar. You can give B to this NOR gate, you will get B bar. Now if you combine these two and give, if you combine these two, it's like A bar plus B bar whole bar. Again, you know that A bar whole bar and B bar whole bar, which is equal to A and B. So you got an operation of AND. So now with using NOR gate, you designed OR gate, AND gate, and inverter. Hence, this is called as universal gate. So that is one sort of explanation. Now, similarly, with NAND gate also, you can design all these things. If A is given, then A bar you will get. If AB are given, you will get AB whole bar. And again, if you give to the inverter, you will get AB whole bar, which is equal to AB. And if you give A to this gate, you will get A bar. B to this gate, you will get B bar. So these are inverters. If you look here, these are inverter circuits. Here again, inverter. This is inverter. So these are all same type of circuits. Now if you see here, A bar, B bar are given again to NAND gate. A bar and B bar whole bar. So you will get A bar whole bar plus B bar whole bar, which is equal to A plus B OR operation. So now the conclusion is, by using NAND gate also you obtained OR gate, AND gate, and inverter. Hence, this is also called as universal gate. So from basic definition of universal gate, you solved using these two. Now let me explain about P plus Q or P bar Q about these things. So these are numericals. See, inference. Inference is nothing but this is what you should learn from these things. If gates combination can result in either AND or inversion, these three can be achieved. If these three can be achieved using any gate or any function, then that function can be called as a universal function. So that is a motive of explanation. Now P bar plus Q. Yeah. So you focus on these things. P bar plus Q. See, what the point is, if there is a black box, and my inputs to the black box is P and Q, and the output from this black box is somewhat like this, P bar plus Q. See, don't bother what gates or what different functionalities or what we are using in this box. You might ask, there might be again these NAND or AND gates and all this stuff in this box, but really those doesn't matter. As per my point of view, if I am looking through this input, I am giving P and Q as my input, and my output is P bar plus Q, and I am giving to a box and I am getting this functionality. See, మీకు తెలుసు అసలు ఎండ్ అంటే ఏ అండ్ బిఏ ఉండాలని. I told you a function A and B is called as AND operation, and I told you A plus B is called as OR operation. Similarly, I am designing a new gate. As I learned about this gate in my ACE Engineering Academy, let me call this as ACE gate, or if you are not satisfied with this, let me call this as Vasu gate. Okay. I will design a new gate with a functionality of P bar plus Q, and I will check if I can attain all these three different operations: AND operation, OR operation, and inversion. Now, if I succeed in attaining all these three operations using this particular functionality, then I can call my name gate or Vasu gate as universal gate. Universal gate. Now let's try to get these things. The functionality is P bar plus Q, or P plus Q bar. It doesn't really matter. Let me check again. P bar plus Q. Okay, P bar plus Q. Now I am trying to get inverter. See, I will try to derive, and I don't know where I will end. If I didn't got, I will check the PDF anyway. But see, the beauty of digital is you can solve, and ultimately you will end up with the answer. Let me prove that to you. See, this is my input P and this is my input Q. Now, if I connect 0 here, as usual P, then the output will be P bar plus 0, it will be P bar. So I got inverter, right? Done. Okay, beautiful. Let's see other thing. Now once if I got inverter, I can do anything, right? P, Q. Now I am thinking to design AND operation or OR operation. So these two are left or right. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give P here, Q here. So what you will get? you will get what you will get, q bar plus p. No, that's not what we need. What I'm going to do is, I have p bar separately. Now I will try to get q bar. So now what I will get here, I will get q bar. Now I have p bar, I have q bar. What I'm going to do is, I am going to give this output as input here and normal p as input to here. So you are following me, right? If not, you just comment in this comment so that I can help you immediately, or you can ask later. See, I am giving p as usual here, and I am giving the q bar as input here. Now what will be the output? It will be p bar plus q, but instead of q, what I'm connecting q bar. Now what I'm going to do is, I am going to give this entire output to one more gate like this. I will connect 0 here. Then what I will get? I will get complement of this input plus 0. So plus 0 won't affect. So the complement of that will be p bar plus q bar whole bar. So p bar plus q bar whole bar means, you all know, p bar whole bar into q bar whole bar, which is equal to pq. So by using 3 such type of circuits, I finally got AND operation. So I'm quite happy with this. Now our task is to design OR gate. Let's see whether we can succeed this or not. So you got right. We are done with inverter. We are done with AND. Now it's our task to design OR gate. Now let's check again. PQ, right? All you have to do is, you have to think about this. How to convert this p bar plus q as p plus q. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to generate this complement of this. So I will get p bar here. Now I'm going to give this as usual to a gate again. So now the output will be p bar plus q, right? But instead of p bar, what you will get? P you will get. Why? Because already here you are giving complemented input. So p bar whole bar. So you'll get p plus q. So this is OR operation. So with 2 such type of boxes, you can get OR operation also. So now, if once you can able to get inverter and OR operation, then it's called as universal gate. So now Vasu gate can be called as universal gate. So now you tell me whether only NAND and OR or any other possibilities to get universal gate. Now it's your turn to ask any doubts so far. So far you are clear or not? Are you clear with the topic so far? Yes. Guys, please do respond. Yes, three members. But I am seeing here around 11 people, but only 4 answers, which indicates that you guys keeping this and going away. So okay, 6 or 7 members. Okay, now you verify and tell me. See here, already p bar plus q done, and p bar q is given. So let me give you pq bar. Let me give you a function, and the output of the box will be pq bar. Now you tell me whether this is universal or not. You verify this and you try to solve all these 3 operations on your own right now, and you tell whether this gate is universal or not. If it is universal, then name that gate with your name, like Subbu gate or Mohiddin gate or Saivaran gate, like that. Sidhu gate. Guys, do fast and tell me whether it is universal or not. You try to think how to stipulate other things, because this is very, very important in the concept while I'm explaining the minimization of gates, or the minimum number of gates that are required. At that point of discussion, this concept of stimulating your own circuits will become handy. So you please try to stimulate on your own and try to verify whether these three operations are possible or not using that gate that I mentioned, P, Q bar. Yes, universal. Tarak told, yes, sir, possible. Sidhu also told, okay, two answers so far. If you guys are unable to get or to verify those things, you let me know. I will explain that gate also. Yes, are we done with that? Was it amazing, sir? Thank you, Sidhu. Subbu, universal. Okay, you already replied. Yeah. Sidhu also replied. Khaja Mohiddin replied. So, okay. Then can we move on to next question? So this was a previous gate question. You try to answer this. What will be the value of Z here? So all these are NOR gates. PQ, QR, PR, QR. And find the expression for Z. Comment your answer. A, R plus Q. You just give the option A, B, or C, something like that. Don't type the answer, you just give the answer. Sidhu, which option? Option A. Tarak has given option A. And Sidhu has given R plus Q. Both are not similar. So one of you might wrong or both of you might wrong. So these were the options. You can check here now. P plus Q plus R whole bar, P plus R whole bar, Q plus R whole bar, P bar plus Q bar plus R bar. Yeah, Sidhu has given option C. Raja Mohiddin also given as option C. Let's check. I'm waiting for others to answer. Guys, anyone trying or you simply sitting? If you are simply sitting, then I will solve this. If not, I will wait for a few minutes. Guys, reply at least if you are trying this, then you tell something so that I can wait. If not, I will move on to the next part. Guys, tell me something. If you are trying, then at least give me a thumbs up at least that you are trying so that I can wait for you, or else I will continue with my answer. Yeah, Subbu, I will wait for your answer. Try fast. Okay, sure. These are the options. P plus Q plus R whole bar, P plus R whole bar, Q plus R whole bar, P bar plus Q bar plus R bar. After showing options, if you are not replying, means it's like you got different option than those 4 options that are present. Yeah, Sai Varun, okay, Subraju kept C and Sai Varun kept A. Okay, I got 2 repeated answers, that is option 1 and option C. So let's check which one among them is correct. Let me take red color. Pink. Let's try pink this time. Okay. If you look here, PQQ, in the sense this is a connection like this, you can call. And here also PRQR. So you can write Q here, R here. Just I'm modifying the question so that there will be a connection like this. Now, it's enough to solve either this part of the circuit or this part of the circuit. So you'll get similar answer, right? It's enough to solve one part and to change the variables. So these are some shorthand tricks that you can say because you can reduce the time. So let me solve both for you. Here, P plus Q whole bar, P plus Q whole bar, which is nothing but P bar, Q bar. Here q plus r whole bar, so nothing but q bar r bar. Again these two are nor operation, so p plus q whole bar plus q plus r whole bar total whole bar. So you'll get p plus q and q plus r, p plus q and q plus r. So similarly you will get here p plus r and q plus r. So no need to solve this part then. So now you directly came to this part. So now z will be p plus q and q plus r plus q plus r and p plus r whole bar, a plus b whole bar. So this, if you solve this, it is enough. Now clearly you can see you can take common q plus r and q plus r. So I am taking q plus r as common. So I was left with p plus q plus p plus r whole bar. Now I can p plus p is p, so I can cancel one. So p plus q plus r and q plus r. Again from this q plus r can be take common, q plus r, q plus r. So I will be left over with 1 plus p whole bar is there. So now q plus r, 1 plus anything is 1, end with 1 means it is q plus r. So the answer will be q plus r whole bar or q bar and r bar. So you check the options which was given. So it is option C. As simple as that. As simple. See, it's like very easy if you once understand how to approach, how to solve the problems, I hope you guys understood this. If yes, comment Y, or if no, comment N, so that I can explain again. Yes. Okay, you all guys got this question, right? So let me ask few more questions to you and let me end this section so that we can get a fresh discussion on XOR gate and XNOR gate and all those things, because they are very important. So now let me give you few more previous gate questions so that you can brush up your mind with them. So next question, find the minimum number of 2 input NOR gates required to implement the following function, that is nothing but a plus bc. What is the minimum number of 2 input NOR gates required to implement this function? So this was the question given. So you try to comment your answer as soon as possible. Yeah. 2 input NOR gates, minimum number of 2 input NOR gates required to implement this function, f equal to a plus bc. 3. So Braju told the answer 3. Any more guys? Yeah, 3 was correct. But others, you at least try how to implement that function using 3 such type of gates, that is 3 NOR gates, how to implement such type of function. You at least try that portion, at least how to implement these 3 using 3 NOR gates. Yeah, I will just give you 2 minutes. If not, I will tell the answer because it's more than enough. Yeah, 3. See, to be frank, you no need to solve this question also, because just now I explained the answer. If you look here, from distributive law, I can write a plus b and c as a plus b and a plus c. So here the common thing is a, right? So just let's revisit this question. PQ, QR, P plus Q and Q plus R is nothing but, you check this, Q plus P and Q plus R is Q plus PR, right? So how many, these 3 are NOR gates, right? So you require 3 NOR gates. Simply, if you recollect the previous question, you can answer this question. As simple as that. But let me write that for you. So A is common. So let me write A bottom, B here. So what I will get here? Here I will get A plus B whole bar. Again. Here let me write C. Here I will get A plus C whole bar. Now let me give to one more NOR gate. So it's A plus B whole bar plus A plus C whole bar in total complement. So it will be A plus B and A plus C, which is nothing but A plus BC. So that's why I explained all the last before, and I already told you they are very important. If there is no constraint like minimum 2 input NOR gates, then how many least number of gates required to implement this A plus BC? You try this also. If there is no constraint like 2 minimum NOR gates, I told you and I gave you how many 2 input gates, how many 2 inputs gates required to implement this design, then what will be your answer? Yeah, 2. Yes, 2 is the answer, because as simple as that, BC, an AND gate is required to get BC and an OR gate is required for this OR, A plus BC, as simple as that. So the number of gates required is very important model. The minimum number of gates required is very important model that we often look in gate paper. Now I will end this session with one more interesting question. The question is, you try this and let's end our discussion. The minimum number of 2 input NAND gates required to implement the function f equal to AB plus CD plus EF. See, there are 6 different types of inputs. So please stay focused and tell me the answer. I will be very happy if at least one of you give the correct answer. So minimum number of 2 input NAND gates required to implement this following function. Come on, it's your turn to answer. So this was the question. How many minimum 2 input NAND gates required to implement the following function? F equal to AB plus CD plus EF. 6, 5. Okay, different answers I am getting. 6 from, yeah, how Subraju designed the same thing using 5 gates. See, once again I am saying 3 input gates are not preferred, only 2 input NAND gates. Any corrections in your answers, or you'll stick to your answer 5 gates? Okay, Tarak said that 6 gates are required. Subbu, how you got 5 gates, man? Six, sorry, choose caller. Okay. Okay, then I have to ask about this. I have to ask to Rohit. Rohit, how you got 5 gates? Rohit, any corrections in your answer, or you will stick up with 5 gates? Rohit, are you there? I guess you are there because you answered quickly. So let me, okay, sorry, Anna. Okay, the answer was 6. As all of you answered this, let me just draw the circuit for namesake so that others can see that. AB, CD, EF. So 3 gates here itself. Let me give these two to one more NAND gate so that I will get AB bar. Here let me take this as X, Y, Z. so that it will be easy for me to deal. So xy whole bar, and let me again complement this. So inverter, it's like an inverter design using NAND gate. So I will get xy here. Now I am giving this also here. So I will get xyz whole bar. So which is nothing but x is AB bar, y is CD bar, z is EF bar. Complement of this whole will give you AB plus CD plus EF. So the desired function is obtained. It's by using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates. So minimum 6 number of 2 input NAND gates are required to design this. Okay. Do you guys want break or shall we continue with few more questions? It's been around 1 hour 20 minutes since we started. You guys are saying to continue. Okay, any more interested to solve a few more questions or shall we? Tarak told to continue. Yeah, you're feeling interested. Okay, then let me add few more questions then. Yeah, continue. Okay, then let me add a few more previous questions, or you can say important questions, so that it will take around a few more minutes. So again, the same type of question, because this topic is very important. I'm stressing a lot. Minimum number of 2 input NAND gates required to implement the following function: A plus AB bar plus ABC. You try this. Minimum number of 2 input NAND gates required to implement this function. You try this and post your answer in the comment section. One, two, or zero? How those many gates? You stick to one answer, either 1, 2, or 0. Yeah, Sidhu gave answer 0. You are giving more answers, man. Subbu, 2 or 0? Okay, let me explain this. So before designing ASTIS, it's very advisable to reduce this expression. A plus AB bar plus ABC, right? This can be simplified directly. You can take A common here. So 1 plus B bar is nothing but 1. So you will end up with A plus ABC. Now you can take A common here. So 1 plus BC. So you will get A. So if input is A, output should be A itself. Then you can simply connect this through a wire, right? Why gates are required at all? So the answer is 0. So it's not like you're trying to connect a buffer here. So no need to require. If being an engineer, you should simplify things, right? But for simple wire connection, why are you complicating the things using those type of concepts like inverter and all? So it's not like you have to mandatorily use a gates, but if it's not required, then you don't use gates and you give the answer as 0. But don't try to give 2 as answer. So that's why I asked this question, because little tricky. So one more very important question I'm going to ask now. You try this on your own and try to grab the concept from this. Minimum number of 2 input NAND gates required to implement A plus B and C bar plus D bar. So you try to answer this question. The minimum number of 2-input NAND gates required to implement A plus B and C bar plus D bar. So let me give the options for you. No, I'm not giving options. Assume this as numerical question and answer. That was very, very, very important question. Try to answer that on your own. Six. Subbu gave the answer as 6. Any more modifications to your answer? You can do any more modifications if you want. Tarak gave 4. Yeah. Subbu, Tarak designed a better design than you by just using 4 gates. So I think you can somehow remove 4 gates if he is not wrong. Only 2 answers I got, guys. Come on. If you're trying, at least you give thumbs up, or else I will continue with my answer. I got using 6. Okay, no problem. But the thing is, your answer will be wrong if Tarak was right. Why? Because I asked minimum number of 2-input NAND gates required. So if Tarak designed it using 4 gates, then it's like it's the most efficient design, right? Then if you are designing with 6 gates, maybe your design was correct, but your answer to my question was wrong. Why? Because I asked a minimum number of gates. If some other guy designed using 4 gates, then how can you design using 6 gates or write 6 as the answer? So obviously you might design, or your design will be correct, but it's not the answer to my question. So obviously 6 is the wrong answer if Tarak was right. Yeah, Siddhu is trying. He gave thumbs up. So let's wait for 1 more minute for his answer so that we can start discussion. Guys, see, there are 11 members who are actively participating in this session, but only few are constantly replying. Where is Varun? Why he is not replying? Sai Varun, why are you not replying? So there are 4 members who are actively participating in this chat session. Remaining are not utilizing this chat box for their active discussion and not fulfilling the purpose of going live or live session. So its live session is just for interaction, so that you can ask your doubts and everything, so that I can clarify them instantly. If not, I will learn and explain to you. It's like you have to interact more in this chat box. Siddhu, make it quick. Mohiddin and Subbu, why don't you try to shrink that design into an efficient design by just using 4 gates? In this meanwhile, 2 to 3 minutes of time left to you. You try to design using 4 gates and update your answer if you got. Or else, no problem. I'm going to anyway explain that. Okay, Charan got 4. Very good. And Mohiddin is thinking. Okay. సాయి వరుణ్, ఇంకోసారి చూడాలన్నా ఎలాగే ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేయాలో ఐడియా రావడం లేదు. ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం. See guys, anyway I recorded this session, but I don't know whether a switching of tabs also got recorded or not, because I used OneNote and PDF, Adobe Acrobat, 2 other softwares. So if everything got recorded, then I am going to upload this so that you can again rewatch this session and you can grab any points that you missed during the session or something like that. Yeah, Neelima, beautiful, beautiful. Neelima also got 4. Sidhu also got 4. Okay. I think all who are present in this gave an attempt and replied. So let me explain you the answer. Yeah, 4 was correct and that was beautiful. So what you have to do is you have to modify the form of question that I asked to you. So C bar plus D bar can be written as CD whole bar. So this is the only thing that you have to do to get the answer. So C bar plus D bar can be written as CD whole bar. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same question as A plus B into CD whole bar. Let me assume this CD whole bar as some variable V. So now what I'm going to do is, if I multiply this A plus B into V, I will get AV plus BV. So far it is okay, right? Now let me give this. Let me design V first. So let me design V. V is nothing but CD bar, right? So CD given to a 2-input NAND gate, you will get CD bar. Okay, you designed V. Now you have to design this entire thing, AV plus BV. So let me give this to one more NAND gate and one input as A. So I will get A V whole bar, and again the same I am giving to one more 2-input NAND gate with other input as B. So here I will get BV whole bar. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to give these two to one more NAND gate. So I will get AV bar and BV bar whole bar, which is nothing but AV plus BV. So now let me count these gates: 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in total, the answer was 4. And beautiful, beautiful guys, you gave the correct answer. 4 number of NAND gates. These are the minimum number of 2-input NAND gates required to implement this design, and that was one such good question in previous papers, or one such good model to cover this minimum number of gates concept. So it's been around 1.5 hours since we are continuing our discussion. Shall we take a break? Guys, shall we take a break, or any doubt in this problem?